No matter how long Alaskan Bush People has been on the air, it's clear that more viewers than one might have expected are attracted to the concept of a show that focuses on a family living in the wilderness. Even though there is considerable speculation about whether or not the performance is scripted and whether or not the Browns are actually real, there is no doubt that the Browns have caught the attention of many and even the hearts of some. It doesn't matter if it's their character, their mysterious past, or even their original approaches to tackling problems. There is undeniably something attractive about them. So what are they doing today? Matt Brown. Matt has only infrequently appeared in Alaskan Bush People due to the recent challenges in his personal life and relationship with his family. When Matt sought therapy in 2016 to overcome his alcoholism, show viewers were worried. It turns out that he relapsed and entered a rehab facility in late 2018 despite the fact that he returned to the program the following year and everything seemed to be going well for him at the time. Billy, Matt's father, officially supported his decision at the moment, but by the start of 2020, Matt had already decided that he wanted to leave the Alaskan Bush People and move to California. It was discovered in February 2021 that Matt had previously been accused of sexually abusing two members of the show's crew back in 2018. However, Matt's decision to leave Juneau, where he was reported to be most sensitive to alcohol, was primarily explained by his desire to escape it. The Los Angeles Police District Attorney's Office received reports of the incidents, which may have occurred while he was intoxicated, but both cases were dismissed. Additionally, in April 2021, Matt accused his parents in front of the public of stealing money from his appearances in Alaskan Bush People. He asserts that his father kept at least $300,000 of Matt's money to himself and that his mother Ami refused to lend her son money even after his father passed away, placing him in a difficult situation where he allegedly cannot afford food or lodging. Only time will tell if the family can resolve what is likely to be its biggest scandal to date. Bear Brown. Bear has recently experienced some challenges, dealing with his mother's illness and his father's passing, like the rest of his siblings, but he has also reaped a significant benefit, specifically to have children. In 2018, Bear, whose true name is Solomon Isaiah, met Raven Adams. As a result of how quickly their situation worsened, he proposed to her in September 2019. The couple's engagement only lasted 2 weeks before they decided to call it quits, despite the fact that everything was going great for them. The news that Raven was expecting their first child, which they joyfully announced even though their relationship was in jeopardy, was the most shocking revelation at the moment. After briefly getting back together and then breaking up again in early 2020, Bear and Raven apparently had a bad relationship. Bear made the announcement that he was submitting a legal petition to obtain equal parental rights for his freshly born son River in August of the same year. He was apparently only able to meet River after the child was already 6 months old. It is still unknown where that has disappeared. In truth, it might not matter because, in October 2020, Raven and Bear declared their third reunion. Later in March 2021, after he was seen wearing a wedding band, speculations of their marriage began to spread online. Now they are happily married with child River Brown, and they also expecting their second child. Joshua Bam Bam. Although he is not the pack's eldest offspring, Joshua Bam Bam is perhaps the one whose younger siblings have always looked up to in the eyes of fans. Joshua, like Matt, left the program to concentrate on other things, but he did so for very different reasons than his older brother. According to rumors, Joshua briefly left Alaskan Bush People in 2017 to spend more time with Allison Kagan, whom he had initially met in 2016 while they were both working for Discovery as producers on the show's set. The two fell in love right away, as was to be expected, which led them to travel to California and invest their savings on a ferry that they intended to make into a popular tourist destination. Joshua finally joined the program again, but several unrecognized problems led to the project's total failure. Fans falsely believed that the ambiguity surrounding his quick return to Alaskan Bush People was the reason why his relationship with Kagan didn't work out. Joshua and Kagan are still together despite the rumors that his family didn't welcome Kagan into the fold with open arms, which is allegedly the reason she doesn't appear in the show. Gabe Brown. 2 ceremonies were held for the couple. The first, which was very private and took place in January 2019, and the second, which was broadcast on Alaskan Bush People in June 2020. Despite the fact that their marriage was still quite young, no one was overly shocked to learn that Rackwell was expecting a child in July. The gender of Gabe and Raquel's child was finally disclosed in a later episode of Alaskan Bush People in September 2020, and it turned out to be a wonderful, healthy baby girl named Sophie. Despite facing various family-related difficulties, it seems that Gabe Brown is a really lucky man overall. Noah Brown. You could already be aware that Noah Brown has been married for a long time if you've recently watched Alaskan Bush People. Viewers of the show were able to see how his romance with his future wife Rain Alicia, which started around 2016, gradually developed into a strong marriage. Despite being the youngest Brown son, Noah was the first to get married back in 2018, and their son Elijah was born the following year. The fact that Noah and Rain are still together today is reassuring given his well-known history of failed relationships. Rainey Brown. Despite being 19 years old, Rainey has continued to be the member of the pack that her brothers guard the most. Despite not being as crazy as her brothers, Rainey is noticeably less shy than her sister Birdie. The fact that Rainey shared personal details about her life and family on social media has already caused her issues, and in 2020 it even resulted in her Instagram account being temporarily suspended. Thankfully, Rainey seems to have improved her self-control recently, and while she still occasionally uses social media, she now only uses it to communicate critical information. Rainey posted a touching photo on Instagram in Billy's honor following his death. Before requesting for prayers for her family, she made it clear in the statement that her father was crucial to her, calling him the closest thing to an angel I've ever met. Birdie Brown. It makes sense that less is spoke out about the family female's whereabouts since the Brown brothers are always the center of attention. Despite the fact that Birdie has always been more quiet than her siblings, her charm has made her a fan favorite. Birdie is now an adult who is in her age and full grown, but because she lives life at her own pace, she doesn't make a big deal out of her love relationships. Ami Brown. There are a variety of things to say about Ami Brown, but her past and her relations with her mother and brothers, who are separated from her, are more interesting than how she presently lives. Billy allegedly stopped Ami from speaking to her family for decades, according to her mother Earlene and brother Les Branson, who both spoke in 2017. Additionally, they confirmed Billy's claimed misrepresentation of Ami regarding his money position and ambitions at the time of their marriage, which strangely occurred while she was only 16 and he was 26. Ami's absence from her mother's funeral in 2018 was brutally revealing of her lack of willingness to reconcile with her family. Ami has apparently kept quiet over the past few years regarding her brother Rene's allegedly aggressive kidney cancer. Along with her tough relationship with her family, Ami Brown's life has become increasingly challenging recently. Ami was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2017, and despite the poor prognosis, she was successfully cured of it in 2019. Despite the good news of her recovery, she has struggled with her estranged son Matt's recent battle with addiction. Given that this is on top of Billy's passing, Ami's life is undoubtedly quite difficult right now. We can only hope that she will get through this trying time in her life with the help of her family.